Good afternoon. This is Ms. Srimanti Bottlewell, and today in the language session for class 7A, we will be reading and we will be exploring in detail the chapter conjunctions. But before talking about conjunctions, let us talk about clauses. Now, what are clauses? If I take a sentence, I know what you did last summer, for instance. Now in this case, I know what you did last summer. The sentence can be divided into two parts. One is I know. Second is what you did last summer. Now see, in this particular sentence, the part I know can stand on its own. For example, if I ask you, do you know about this particular thing? And you can answer, I know. So I know can be a full sentence. The part I know does not require any other part of the sentence to stand on its own and to make a complete sense or meaning. So this portion of the sentence which can stand on its own and does not require anyone else as in any other portion of the sentence is known as the principal clause in a sentence. You must know that the meaning of the word principal is main, independent. So automatically principal clause is that portion of the sentence which can stand on its own and does not require any other portion of the sentence to make a complete meaning. Now look at the rest of the sentence. What you did last summer, full stop. Now this portion does not make complete sense. It is neither a question nor a declarative sentence. It does not make any sense and it requires another portion, a couple of extra words to make complete sense, to give it full meaning. So this portion of the sentence which cannot stand on its own and requires another part of the sentence to make complete sense or meaning is known as the subordinate clause. Subordinate, the word subordinate itself means dependent. So this portion is dependent on the principal clause, because if I take away the principal clause from this portion, it will start, or it will rather stop making any sense. It will lose its meaning. So the portion of the sentence which cannot stand on its own is the dependent or the subordinate clause, and the portion which can stand on its own is the principal clause or the main clause. Now, what are conjunctions then? Conjunctions are joining words which join two phrases or two independent clauses or a principal clause with a subordinate clause. For example, if I use this sentence, I have to find a new job, for I am unemployed. This sentence can be divided into two portions. One is I have to find a new job, full stop. The second portion is I am unemployed, full stop. Now both these two portions can stand on its own. They have complete sense, they make complete meaning, they do not require anyone else to make complete sense. So both of them are principal clauses. Now I need to find a conjunction which can help me add or rather join these two portions of, or rather these two separate sentences to make one sentence. So I use the word for. I have to find a new job, for I am unemployed. So in this case, the word for is acting as a conjunction. It's acting as a joining word which is joining two principal clauses and making one simple sentence. So remember, conjunctions are words, joining words like for, because, and, but, yet. All these words help us to join two independent clauses or a principal clause with a dependent clause or two phrases to find, or rather to make one particular sentence. So that is the job of conjunctions. Now let us look at the three main types of conjunctions. Number one is coordinating conjunction. Now the example which I just gave a few seconds back, I have to find a new job, for I am unemployed, is an example of coordinating conjunction. How? Because it has the word for in it. Let me explain further. Coordinating conjunctions do what the word actually specifies. It coordinates. It joins two principal clauses. It's of course very difficult to strike a coordination between two things which are unequal, right? A coordination can always be struck if one is equal to the other. So the same job is done by coordinating conjunctions. They join two clauses which are principal, which are independent. Neither is dependent on the other. All that the coordinating conjunction is doing is joining the two clauses to make one sentence. Now, there is one very simple and easy rule to remember the types of conjunctions which are coordinating. Just remember the acronym FANBOYS. Isn't it simple and easy? FANBOYS. Easy to remember. Now, what does FANBOYS stand for? FANBOYS, F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These are the 7 main coordinating conjunctions which are used to join two principal or independent clauses. Remember, whenever you cannot remember the types of coordinating conjunctions, just learn the acronym FANBOYS. This will help you to memorize the conjunctions which come under the category of coordinating conjunctions. Let us look at some examples. For, I go to the library, for I love to read. So, how can we divide the sentence into two portions? First portion, I go to the library, full stop. Second portion, I love to read, full stop. Now, these portions are both principal clauses. They are independent. They do not require any extra words to make complete sense. I go to the library is a perfect example of a sentence which is in simple present tense. That is, I'm in the habit of going to the library. So, it makes complete sense. Second portion, I love to read. This makes complete sense as well. It does not require any other sentence or any other word to make a complete sense. So, what are we doing? To join these two principal clauses, we are using the conjunction for. So, I go to the library, for I love to read. The conjunction because is also used as a coordinating conjunction. You must know for and because can be more or less used synonymously. So, in this case, I go to the library because I love to read will also make complete sense. So, for and because can be used synonymously. That is why I am not adding the conjunction because in this acronym FANBOYS. It is automatically taking its place because it serves as a separate word for the same meaning for the word for. Now we come to correlative conjunctions. Now, correlative conjunctions always come in pairs. They are conjunctions which appear in pairs but are used as a singular conjunction. For example, either or, neither nor, both and, but also, not only but also, no sooner than. All these conjunctions or all these words cannot be used individually. If I want to use them as a conjunction, then I have to use them in pairs. That is why these are called correlative conjunctions. For example, if I want to write a sentence, Michael can read, full stop. Another sentence, Michael can write, full stop. Now here the subject is the same, Michael. So what I want to tell you is that Michael has the ability to read. Michael also has the ability to write. So here I can use a correlative conjunction, both and. What can I say? Michael can both read and write. So both and, this is a pair which is used here as a correlative conjunction. We have words like or other pairs like neither nor. Neither George nor his brother is very tall. So this could have been in two separate sentences. George is not tall, his brother is not tall. So how am I adding, or rather how am I making this sentence into one sentence using a correlative conjunction? Neither George nor his brother is very tall. Always remember that correlative conjunctions are also used to join principal clauses. They are not used to join a principal clause with a subordinate clause. They also join two principal clauses which are at the same level. Now we come to subordinating conjunctions. Now, subordinating conjunctions can always join a principal clause with a subordinate clause. For example, if I use a sentence like you find out, full stop, please let me know, full stop. Now here the principal clause can be please let me know, because it makes complete sense. It does not require any other word to give it any extra sense or meaning. But look at the portion you find out. Does it make any sense? You find out? It does not. It requires some extra word, some extra portion. So this automatically becomes the subordinate clause. So how can I join the principal clause with the subordinate clause? By adding a subordinating conjunction if. So the sentence can be, if you find out, please let me know, or please let me know if you find out, or please let me know once you find out. So subordinating conjunctions like after, when, so that, unless, until, once, if, since, even if, all these are used to join a principal clause with a subordinate clause. They do not join a principal clause with another principal clause. They always join an independent or a principal clause with a subordinate or a dependent clause. For example,